conservative pick.
Get ready to make some money.
Wait for it. Here he comes. Ben, going to keep on printing. As soon as that news came out yesterday, 2 p.m. Eastern time, we got an email from the judge. Boy, he was steaming. He's here. Judge Andrew Napolitano.
You know,
What's wrong?
I was in the D.C. Bureau yesterday, and everybody was commenting, and you eventually did as well on Neil Cavuto. I think you really agree with me, but you don't want to admit it for the sake of this conversation, that the market had a remarkable turnaround when Ben Bernanke unexpectedly announced that as a swan song to his friends who like cheap, easy, free printed cash, a.k.a. the Wall Street crowd, he would buy another $85 billion worth of bonds, basically creating that money out of thin air. This will produce a bubble. This is artificial. How is this money going to be paid back? How can we possibly claim this is prosperity when we're passing along printed, valueless cash from a bank that has the authority to do this to the pockets of profit takers on Wall Street?
May I explain?
Sure.
You say, how will this be paid back? It doesn't get paid back because it's not borrowed money. The Federal Reserve has a big chunk, hold on, it's got about $3 trillion in the coffers, right? Because it's been putting it out there. It's been buying paper and paying money for it. That puts money into the economy.
Where did it get that $3 trillion?
Hold on, it prints it, hold on. Now it's got $3 trillion in the coffers, and when it wants to reverse that, it starts selling the paper that it's got, pulling money back in. It replaces it. Got it?
This will produce another unsustainable bubble, an artificial, government-orchestrated, unnatural accumulation of assets in a place where it doesn't belong.
You said that. Wait. You said that. I don't know how many years ago when this money printing started. What, 4 or 5 years ago? It'll create inflation. Where's the inflation?
Well, I didn't say it would create an inflation. I may have said that. There's no inflation now. Inflation is less than 2%. The Fed wants more inflation.
Right.
That's how wacky they are. They want prices to go up. But it did create a bubble, and it will create another bubble.
Where's the bubble? Which
bubble? I created the bubble of 2008 was a housing bubble, not orchestrated by the Fed, but orchestrated by the government manipulation of the market. Lend money to whoever you want, and we'll buy the mortgage.
You think
take all the profit you want because we'll print the cash. That is unsustainable.
Is this a stock market bubble? Identify the bubble.
I can't exactly identify the bubble, but I can see something coming when profits are taken on artificial cash. Suppose Janet Yellen stops the printing. What will our friends on Wall Street do? Down, 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 down.
I will tell you this. I've done extensive research. And the last 2 times the Fed hiked rates, we pulled back one time 7% and the other time 5%. Then we turned around and we had rallies of 44 months and 70 months. My problem with the Fed, to be quite frank with you, Judge, is the money doesn't get to Main Street. It does only get, they're giving the federal government money.
And they're giving the big banks money.
And they're giving big banks money.
Correct.
But people watching the show haven't gotten a crumb out of that money. And yet they are on the hook for any risk that are created by this.
They do have they've got a lot out of this.
How?
Have they got a 401k? Have they got college savings? Have they got an IRA? Have they got a pension
fund? The real wages have gone down.
401k generated by an announcement on a Thursday afternoon that the Fed is going to print $85 billion more dollars is an artificial increase that cannot last and cannot be sustained because at some point the printing must stop. Agreed?
At some point, the printing must stop, and it will be.
Otherwise, all the cash we have will be utterly valueless.
That's your prediction.
Well, it's not my prediction.
Yes, it is.
It's like saying 2 + 2 equals 4 is your prediction.
I think
if they keep printing $85 billion every month, eventually what's in our pocket will not be able to buy a loaf of bread.
And the irony, of course, is that they want it to be worth less.
Yes.
They want it to be worth less so that multinational corporations can compete on the global market and that kind of manufacturers can compete. We can't have it both ways.
Do you share Bernanke's goal that he wants more inflation?
I'm not the subject of this discussion.
Oh, okay. Right.
I'm just the moderator between
You've actually brought the two of us very close. My skepticism about the Fed is far deeper than Charles. His understanding of the evils of the Fed is far greater than mine.
Listen, I'm just saying, I wish the Fed, I'm with you in the sense that I wish the Fed didn't exist. I think the idea of these soft landings, and let's face it, this is what we're always trying to do in this country, engineer a soft landing.
Okay, if Bernanke had laryngitis and didn't speak yesterday or took the day off, do you think the stock market would have gone up after 2 o'clock?
I don't know, but